What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to College Basketball Recap and Preview Show Live. We just finished up with the Sweet 16, and man, there are some surprises, wasn't there, Jackson?
Yeah, there was. I mean, that one of the Elite Eight games is a reminder of a football game in from 2015 to 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the surprises there, and we're seeing a little bit of the choke bowl that's gonna be coming up soon.
Man, yeah.
Well, and our friend Hummus here says, "Hey, Jats Johnson, some good competitive games, Sweet 16, eh? You got that right.
Oh,
Hope
yeah.
the Elite Eight gives us more." Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
We 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 could most definitely use some Easter treats this weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Here we go. And we start off with the national title rematch. I mean, I know like UConn didn't have the lead at one point, but then when they realized they were trailing at that one point in the game, they brought out that Genjutsu against the Aztecs.
Yeah, and it worked well, man. The Aztecs didn't know what the heck they were doing, and it was a blowout.
It's a shame we're not gonna see any mid majors in the Final Four, but oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, next year, hopefully.
That is true. Agreed, Hummus. We agree with you there. But this game, the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Jackson, I'm just going to let you talk about this one.
Okay.
It's your team.
Well, I'll be honest, if you had heard some of the phone calls Austin I'd had, I told him, look, I'm just happy with being at the Sweet 16. If we get past it somehow this year, cool. I'm not going to get overly hyped, but oh my God, this is real. We could be going to the Final Four for the first time in school history. We could be that school. Oh my God, this is lovely. And as for the North Carolina Tar Heels, I mean, they had a pretty good regular season, but it's just been, they didn't do so hot this March Madness, but at least they didn't get themselves to a point where they're turning down a NIT invitation.
Man, that was embarrassing turning down the NIT invitation. But it's so crazy that for the Crimson Tide, that Brandon Miller, you don't make it with Brandon Miller, but you win it this year without him. It's interesting how the Crimson Tide were able to do it this year and not last.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome to see who we're playing in the Elite Eight. Oh wait, it's right in front of me. We're gonna be playing the Clemson Tigers, and I'm glad it's not another rematch in college football with like the Saban Dabo Sweeney era, because I mean, like those got repetitive for me real quick after like 2017, 2018. I'm like, yeah, sure. But like college basketball, Alabama Clemson in the Elite Eight, that's tremendous in of itself. Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo, indeed, and man, Arizona is gonna replace one of our teams, the teams that just can't make it to the Final Four. Man, Arizona, oof. But happy for Clemson, and wow, Brad Brunell, from hated to loved in Clemson, South Carolina.
That's true, man. And I keep hearing people say it, but I said it last night a lot on social media, but I used to think it was just a Sean Miller thing. And I know people have been saying last night, oh, it's just a Tommy Lloyd thing. No, it's an Arizona thing. I mean, Arizona in March Madness is like Charlie Brown at the pitcher's mound. Baseball's hitting him, and he's got to change back into his clothes in 5 seconds. It's insane. And I know some people are saying, oh, well, they'll get a step up in competition once they join the Big 12. Yeah, but they'll do all right in the regular season. We just got to see what they can do in the postseason.
Yeah.
And we see our friend Jason O saying all the mid majors. Big 12 got eliminated.
Oh yeah. Big 12
And
ain't so high and mighty now.
I don't think they are. And Hamas Hero says, haha, nice Naruto reference, Jackson. Yukon using Ichachi's black smoke monster.
Mm-hmm. Itachi's one of my favorite characters in anime, man. What a character he is.
Yeah, I mean, like my sister is like the big anime person. I watch a little bit of it here and there, but
I went
I'll do
through
my
a huge
best.
anime phase during the lockdown.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of westerns on
Mm-hmm.
Grit TV. And we got Sunny Burma wishing us all a very happy Friday night and a
Oh,
happy Friday night to you too. And you know, check out his show, Illini Cast, the Big Ten show, the Cubs Rundown, and I believe he's joining the Texas channel at the Voice of College Football starting on April 8th. That is going to be tremendous. Give a big shout out and a big congratulations to Sonny Burma.
Here,
And
I'm
it's a
holding
good.
up my laptop, so but I'm clapping. I'm clapping with them. And Sonny's got to be happy that his Illini are going back to the Elite Eight for the first time since the Deron Williams team back in the day. I think that was '05. And
Oh yeah,
that team was very close to winning the championship, and this team could too. I think they're going to be UConn's biggest challenge by far, man. They can score. Terrence Shannon may not be the best person, but he's a great basketball player.
yeah. I'm curious to see what's going to happen tomorrow night between UConn and Illinois on TBS. That'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I know TJ Olsenberger's pretty sad about his Cyclones losing, but you know, there's always next year.
I mean, I feel like with Iowa State, they aren't the most talented team, so he's not really a choker per se. He just gets his team to where they should be. Jason O, big UConn fan, saying UConn by 15 plus. Well, Ken Palm doesn't think so. Ken Palm only has UConn as the 6-point favorite, so we'll see.
That's for sure. And we got two of the matchups set up. Now let's see what happened with tonight. Ooh, Purdue smacked Gonzaga around.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't Gonzaga's Mark Few's best Gonzaga team. I felt like he got everything he could out of this team. Of course, he's still going to be searching for that elusive title. It'll be interesting to see if he ever gets one. But yeah, I mean, Purdue and UConn look like the two best teams right now for sure, man. I mean, but they will be tested in the Elite Eight. They will be tested.
Oh man,
mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting to see that Nets game.
Mm-hmm.
Houston comes up short once again. Are we ready to start calling them the Nets? Purdue, Virginia, Tennessee, because I mean Purdue, Tennessee. It seems like they may be shedding that label of choker in the postseason. Are we ready to give that to Houston?
Well, Jamal Shead getting hurts Houston big time. So and that was unfortunate, but they still had a great chance of winning this game and came up short as Shire ended up getting it done for Duke. And it'll be interesting to see if they can make it. They're going to be playing a team that's really confident, though. So we'll see if John Shire can follow Mike Krzyzewski's footsteps, getting Duke to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina's not going to be happy about that. It's like, we beat these guys twice, and they're going to the Elite Eight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. But I'll bet you this Nets game is a double blow for the Tar Heels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, NC State, unfortunately, ruining my bracket as I had Marquette winning. So there goes my bracket. But, I mean, NC State, keep it going. I mean, their defense was stifling Marquette. Golden Eagles could not score very much in this game.
I mean, like 4 of 31 at the 3-point line. I believe that was the stat line. That's not good.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't, Jackson.
That's pitiful. You can't do
embarrassing.
that. That's bad. It's oh my god. I'm surprised like we haven't seen like a video from Urinating Tree on this game yet.
Mhm. Yeah.
But we are sorry, Marquette. We are sorry, Sorgi, that your team lost on you.
Mm-hmm.
So, memo to me for next year: if a Big East team is in the state of Texas for a March Madness game, don't pick them to win.
Fade them. Fade them.
They just don't seem to do so well. But as for NC State, the Cinderella run continues. Who'd have thought on that first round game against Louisville in the ACC tournament, we would be thinking, oh, this team's going to the Elite Eight.
I don't think anyone thought that.
Nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like a little bit of Jimmy Valvino in this 2024 North Carolina State team.
For sure. I see some Jimmy in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, wherever he's at, which is likely in heaven, he's still looking for someone to hug.
Mm-hmm. Man, love Jimmy V.
He's one of the best there is. And ironically, it's the first time since 1986 that NC State is back in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, first time since Jimmy V. Not his title team. His title team, I believe, was in '83.
Yup. Against Houston. And finally, we got the last game of the Sweet 16, the Tennessee Volunteers and the Creighton Mordecai Blue Jays.
Mordecai, unfortunately, can't find his girlfriend, just like Creighton can't get to the Elite Eight. Or wait, did they get to the Elite Eight last year, or was it Sweet 16 they lost to San Diego State?
Oh, man, that's a good one. I think they lost in the Elite Eight.
It was Elite Eight, so he still can't find. He still can't get his girl. Oh, what's his girl's name? The Cardinal.
Margaret.
Yeah, he still can't get Margaret. Like Creighton still can't get in the Final Four. I was pulling for Creighton in this game big time. I wanted to see them get to the Final Four, but it's the Vols' turn. The Vols are. Rick Barnes is finally trying to get into the Final Four.
I mean, they can always make that idiotic speech at the wedding and make someone's wedding about them like Mordecai did.
Yeah.
So I could see Creighton doing that. But a huge congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers as they may be slaying the dragon that is the postseason drought.
And we have the voice of college football in the chat.
And he says, hey, guys, hope you enjoyed the game tonight. Unfortunately, I can't say I've watched 1 second of the tournament, so I'm usually, nah, man, you're not used to, you're good, man. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of the College Basketball Recap Preview Show. It's an honor, man.
Appreciate it, Mark. Appreciate you for stopping by and saying hey.
Oh, man. Oh, man. And Hamas Hero said the Marquette shooting was colder than Lake Superior in January. Whew, that's bad. And Jay Snow said that Duke looks like they are in good hands with John Shire. I thought he would take a few years to get back rolling, but he has them looking good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's... I'm glad you tuned in to tonight's edition of the College Basketball Recap Preview Show. It's special edition. We appreciate it, man. And in the meantime, we will be starting with the 2 games on TBS. First one is Illinois-UConn from the East Region.
Yeah, I mean, Illinois is the first team that can really challenge UConn. I mean, UConn's like a complete machine this tournament. They've been the most dominant team I've seen through the first 3 rounds. But Illinois can score with them. I mean, Terrence Shannon, he can put up the points. So,
yeah.
this one could go either way, unlike Jason thinks. Jason thinks that UConn's going to blow him out again. But the one thing that Illinois is going to have to do, gosh darn it, I was trying to pull up the stats, but it pulled up the UConn women's team. They're going to have to contain Donovan Clingan, and I think he's going to be the difference in this one for the Huskies. So I'm going to go UConn wins by 5. I think it'll be close, but I think the second chance points. I think UConn will win it on the boards, but Illinois can definitely put up the points.
Oh yeah.
I'll go with the Huskies to go back to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with UConn reluctantly, but I'm gonna be pulling for Illinois all the way. So it's gonna be a great one. Sonny says, I'm getting D Wade at Marquette vibes from 2002 with Shannon this year. You guys are probably too young to remember that, but he put the team on his back. Oh man, I remember looking at the history archives of that. That was a phenomenal run.
Yeah, they just fell short to Kansas, I believe, that year, through my research.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shame that those guys went down. But we got another rematch in college football. Oh, wait, this is college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
In all
Mark, this is a
seriousness,
matchup you recognize, Clemson, Alabama.
Yep, the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Clemson Tigers playing for their first ever shot at a Final Four in school history. At the crypto.com arena in LA. I mean, somebody was calling it the Rose Bowl of college basketball.
It's still the Staples Center to me.
They need to change it back to that name then.
Yeah, they should change it back. That's the name I grew up with.
There you go.
But I have another little comparison for you guys.
Ooh.
Mark Sears is giving me Jalen Brunson vibes.
Ooh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hummus, I was saying that too. This is their first time to the Elite Eight since that Deron Williams, D. Brown squad that just fell short to the North Carolina Tar Heels in the national championship game.
Oh. Well, let me see. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm going to go with Alabama. This is going to be a 9-point win.
I'm going to go with a 2-point Crimson Tide win. I think it'll be down to the wire, but it's just hard to beat a team twice in one season. And I don't know. Clemson can do it, but I'm going to lean Crimson Tide.
I mean, when looking back on this game from November 28th, nobody was sitting there thinking, oh, this is going to be an Elite Eight rematch.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great road win for the Tigers. I remember. I was like, wow, Clemson, like Brad Burnell's going to save his job. But yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that impressive.
Oh, he definitely saved his job with this Cinderella run. That's for sure. Is Brad Burnell safe? Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
It was so great seeing Jordan cry on stream, watching the game live on the Clemson channel on the Voice of College Football.
Yeah, it was. I'm hoping he's doing all right. You know, because I mean,
no, he was crying because he was happy.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I'll always get nervous when somebody's getting all teared up. I'm just like, no. Mm-hmm. Wasn't that bad, was it? Mm-hmm. And now we head over to Easter Sunday. Now, what is what are the Easter Bunny, the Easter Beagle, and Gizmo, the Wonder Dog, bringing us? They're bringing us Tennessee Purdue from the Midwest region on CBS at the Little Caesars Arena.
It's a fantastic game. Like, I mean, I could see either of these two teams cutting down the nets, or I could see either of these two teams getting blown out. Just because of the history of the coaches, Matt Painter and Rick Barnes. Mm-hmm.
This is a toughie for me because I mean, Dalton Canuck and Zach Edey going against one another, and I know that these two played one another in a Sweet 16 matchup 2019.
Oh, that's when Purdue. Yeah, that's Purdue's one Elite Eight appearance with Matt Painter.
Yeah, and this is the second Elite Eight in school history for Tennessee. Purdue is playing for their first Final Four trip since the Gene Keady era.
Gene Keady and Glenn Robinson was the best player on that team.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty good run they had.
I think so. They might have only been Elite Eight that year, though. I'm gonna double check myself on that. Gene Keady always looked like he was sweating up a storm when you watch those old games.
Yeah, it's just like holy cow. It's
now, Jackson. I'm gonna have to hate to inform you, but according to Wikipedia, Gene Keady never made the Final Four.
Yeah, I figured I made a mistake on that one. That was my mistake.
It's a Purdue tradition to fall short.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So I mean, either way though, they're going to be playing for a really good run.
Ooh. So the year before he got there. So it was the year before he got there. They made the Final Four. Then what happened to the coach? Did he move to the NBA?
Ooh, that's a good question. And Jay Snow said Gene Keady always looked like a crooked police commissioner from the comic books. He was the meanest looking SOB you ever saw. Ooh. Mm-hmm. I hate to be dealing with him alone, that's for sure. But Bob Knight was actually much meaner.
Yeah, there too. Lee Rose was the last coach to take them to the Final Four.
There's the guy. That's who it was.
My goodness, that was harder than I expected it to be.
Man. But either way, it's been such a long time that they've
even he had a bad relationship with the athletic director. That makes sense.
That's why that'll do it.
Yeah.
Oof. That'll do it to you. But Will, who do you think is going to be the Midwest region champ on Easter Sunday?
Man, oh man. I'm going to have to say I'm having such a hard time because I'm like, I don't trust any of these teams. I'm like, who's gonna choke less? Oh my gosh, this is so hard for me to say. I'm gonna say Tennessee. I think they have the more complete team. Gosh, oh my god, I just said Rick Barnes going to the Final Four. I can't believe it.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm going to go with Purdue on this one. Because, I mean, I have to choose between, like, Tennessee or Purdue. That's easy. I'm going Purdue.
Yeah, of course. You're out. You can't. you can never pick. Yeah.
Well, and plus, Austin's in a bracket pool where he's trying to win some money, which I believe he will. He's got Purdue winning this one, I believe. So he can't have Tennessee win. So that's another reason right there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this dilemma is not as bad as a dilemma as it is for North Carolina because they're sitting home on Easter Sunday watching North Carolina State and Duke in the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm. They're just sad watching, popping those little Reese's eggs with the peanut butter inside. They're just sadly eating those out of their little Easter basket.
Well, I mean, there's always Easter Beagle. I mean, you can watch old Snoopy give out the little Easter eggs to Linus. So I mean, that'll make you happy.
Mhm.
So I mean, you can do your little self pity for like a week, North Carolina, but then you gotta get back out on the court training for next year. But how about that Cinderella run from NC State and Duke just being Duke? Mm,
I really want to pick NC State.
go for it.
I'm picking NC State. Why not, man? I want the run to continue, man. I want Jimmy B to be running around watching the game.
There you go. I'm right there with you. Going with that wolf pack. I
We can't
mean,
turn our back on the Wolfpack.
no. Especially on DJ Burns. I mean, that dude has been fantastic all throughout the month of March. He's been phenomenal in the conference tournament, and he's been phenomenal throughout this year's edition of March Madness. And I hope that young man gets a bright future in the NBA, because I'm going to tell you right now, he's a draft steal. Yeah. So we got the games all covered, but I will tell you though, this is something I've been really thinking about,
Mhm.
throughout last night and all day today. Now, I know like North Carolina, did well in the regular season, and they lost to NC State in the conference tournament. But doing well in the regular season and conference tournament is great,
Mhm.
but you're not doing so hot in the postseason. You're falling apart. Does it mean like if you fall apart in like the Sweet 16, round of 32,
Mhm.
or fall short in the Elite Eight, does your postseason record taint your regular season conference tournament accomplishments, all that, or no?
It depends how big of a program you are, I think. Because if you're Texas Tech, I would say having a great regular season is a bigger accomplishment than like a Duke or a Duke, UCLA, Kentucky, of course. Kentucky's the biggest example of that. They don't care about no regular season. They want national championships.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know Arizona, and a little while ago I just said about how, it's an Arizona thing to do well in the regular season and to be a horrid disaster in the postseason. What do you think has to be done in order for that program to have better luck in the postseason? Because I mean, I know somebody was saying, "Oh, the competition will get better in the Big 12 for
Well, that
Arizona."
it hasn't had the Big 12 this year. The Big 12 has as many teams left in the tournament. Then they'd have just as many teams in the tournament as the Mountain West. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And it's just like, oh, well, being battle test going to work out for Arizona once they join Big 12. It's like, well, it did work out for Houston
Mm-hmm.
because they were way more battle tested this season than they were the past 4 or 5 seasons in the regular season. But then they're just falling apart in the postseason. They came up short against Duke.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a wretched disaster all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you think they're ever gonna get that? Like, I just wonder though, are we ready to say Arizona and Houston are the Nets, Purdue, Tennessee, Virginia? Like where somebody's gonna say Arizona is pulling an Arizona net season.
I mean, unless if they hire back Lute Olson at Arizona, I don't see them winning a national championship in the near future with Tommy Lloyd or Maybe if they hire the right guy, but definitely not with Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah. I mean, I know Sidelines Arizona has not been too thrilled with how Tommy Lloyd's been doing.
Absolutely not.
But we know some schools have been pretty happy with some stuff happening, as we got Louisville hiring their new head coach, Pat Kelsey. And we got this storyline. Oh, get away from us, Ad. We got this story from the Card Chronicle from Mike Rutherford. Talking about how the college basketball world reacts to Pat Kelsey becoming the new head coach. Now, what's your take on it, man?
Pat Kelsey, I think he's exactly the type of coach that Louisville needs. Someone with energy, someone that'll get the fans excited. Kenny Payne, he did the opposite of that. So I think this is the right hire for Louisville. Will it be back immediately? Maybe not, but in the near future, I think Louisville will at least be a Sweet 16 team.
Well, and I see a lot of people are really happy about it. And for once, I see Jay Billis looking all happy. I just hope he's not calling for Louisville to get banned from the postseason because they beat Duke or something. And Jason O says the Big 12 is crazy overrated. Your Mark keeps telling everyone that the Big 12 is best conference until people actually believe it and spew it themselves.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, and I think maybe the Pat Kelsey hire will be a showing that you don't always need the first choice. You can take whatever you can get. Because I mean, who knows? Maybe he can get him some Final Fours. Not saying he will, but I'm saying maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he. I mean, he can definitely get Kentucky beat in the postseason. So I mean, it could happen. And, you had some news about James Madison hiring.
Yeah, I got it right here. They're hiring the coach from Morehead State, Preston Spanlin, as their new head coach.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, Morehead State, another team that made the tournament.
Yeah.
So they want. So JMU is definitely saying that, hey, we have the money. We're gonna try to keeping a tournament team. And hey, maybe James Madison will go to the American Conference and join Florida Atlantic and Memphis. That'll be fun.
Yeah. It'll be fun to see what happens. I wonder if he can, turn that into a bigger job or something. I do wonder.
Yeah, he's only 37 right now, so I definitely think he can make it to trying to think of another program that's coach is going to be on the hot seat. Maybe he'll go to maybe he'll go to Missouri soon or Pittsburgh, one of those schools.
I like it. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So
And our friend
Jason, keep it going.
There we go. And our friend Jason O says James Madison has some good momentum. I hope they keep it going. Agreed. I wonder if that's going to translate to joining the AAC conference soon.
Yeah, I think they have a good chance of it for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm surprised they haven't been added to it yet. Because like they do so fantastic in football, and they're just excellent in college basketball, and especially throughout the season, as we've covered here on the recap preview show, college basketball, from the win over Michigan State to winning the Sun Belt and being like the last unbeaten team in all of college basketball. I mean, something has got to give for that school.
Jackson, I'm definitely most excited for that Purdue Tennessee game, but I know you're definitely more excited for that Alabama Clemson game.
Yeah, because I mean, I will tell you right now, whoever wins the Purdue Tennessee game, I owe an apology to the winner,
Mm-hmm.
regardless who wins. I mean
Yeah,
it,
even if it's Tennessee, yeah.
especially if it's Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I've been kind of a butthole to both these schools on social media
Yeah.
and you know on this show. And the thing is, when I'm right, I'll let people know it. When I'm wrong, I'll let people know it.
That's the Jackson Johnson way.
I do my best. I try to uphold that standard as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
James Madison must have really made some good investments in their athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. But you know, there were some NIT matchups, I believe, that were going on this week.
Yeah.
So I know that your boys at VCU didn't do so hot, but we
Yeah,
know.
we made the quarterfinals at least.
So I guess we got plenty of time to cover that if it's okay with you, man.
Jackson, I gotta get up at 6. I gotta get up at like a little after 6, so we can scan it. But
There we go.
yeah.
So the Buckeyes lost the quarterfinal to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Still cannot believe Indiana State is not
How
in the
are they
NCAA.
not get in and Virginia get in? No one knows.
That was just dumb, turning them down.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Satan Hall winning a big one against UNLV.
Their fans are loud on Twitter that they should have gotten in as well.
Yeah. And finally, we got VCU and Utah.
That was a tough one. The elevation
Mm,
hurt us for sure.
yeah. And we got the little semifinals of Utah, Indiana State, and Georgia Satan Hall. I'll be quick with it. Indiana State and Satan Hall.
Same. That's what I was going to pick as well. Although Utah will give Indiana State a fight, I think. I don't know about Georgia.
Oh
We'll see.
yeah. Well, Utah wins. We'll give out a huge congratulations to the Utah Utes. Shout out to JT Wishshire, the host of Locked On Utes. But you know, Will, what you got going on the Will and D on YouTube? What you got going on there,
On
man?
YouTube, I'm going to be covering the basketball, and I'm going to be doing some in-depth Notre Dame previews once summer hits, for sure.
There we go. Summer, and where do we begin? And you know, you're making some strides on Twitter and Instagram and Threads. You're getting some big followers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hit 200 followers on Twitter. Going to try to keep growing.
There you go. And you know, you can check me out right here on YouTube at Jackson Johnson 979 right here on YouTube. You can check me out on X at Jackson0996 0335 and on Instagram and Threads at Jackson Johnson 543 908. And we will be back Monday night. We're not working on Easter because we're not doing that, but we will be back Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the college basketball recap preview show, as we will be recapping the Elite Eight and we will be bringing you our Final Four predictions and previews. And we will also be looking at some other news alongside. Until next time, this is Jackson Johnson and my good buddy Will and D, and we wish you all a very happy Easter.
Thanks, everyone.